Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Jafar Yusuf, and this is my presentation about London by William Blake. That I gave the title Behind Proletariat Sadness. I use deconstruction theory for this analysis, and who is start deconstruction theory is Jacques Derrida. Jacques Derrida, a leading figure in French post-structuralist philosophy, is renowned for having developed deconstruction. His prolific writings treat both philosophical and literary works, and do so in various ways, of which deconstruction is the most philosophically significant. All right, talking about literary criticism, we are talking about theory. We've been talking about where meaning is located. Is it located in author? Is it located in text itself, or is it located in the reader? There are a lot of places where it might be located. Now, where does deconstruction locate the meaning? It doesn't. It doesn't look at the meaning. It just destroys all the meaning. Yes, deconstruction is interested in the idea that the meaning breaks apart. For example, the word dog. Dog. Yeah, you would imagine in your mind, literally dog. I mean, a cute dog, but my idea of dog is hell dog or a monster dog. Yeah, Jacques Derrida really started the whole deconstruction thing. He talks about how we have to continually modify our language to get closer and closer to meaning. But no matter how we are get close, we actually never get there. So the deconstruction theory is really about the fun of pointing out flaws and other. In deconstruction theory, I use binary opposition for this analysis. What is binary opposition? Binary opposition is things that seem paradoxical or oppose other meaning. One of them is considered as a superior and the other is inferior. Let's move to this poem. I mean, to the London by William Blake. It was published in 1794 and was one of the series of his poems in Songs of Experience. These short poems explore the harsh realities of late 18th and early 19th century life during the time of King George III. And ironically, given the terrible social condition of the time as the romantic era. The first stanza is to prepare the reader for the significant and harrowing comments that will follow. And the second stanza shows that all religion, social, economics, and politics had been controlled, and it's like being in prison. The third and fourth stanzas tell about a lot of children and young women forced to work appropriately for their circumstance. All right, that was the first understanding. The first reading. It seemed like the writer tell us about how awful London is. Okay, now let's read closely and find tension or things that seem opposite. Derrida himself explain it by saying that the reading must always aim at a certain relationship unperceived by the reader between what he comments and what he doesn't comment of the pattern of the language that he uses. The binary opposition involving a pair of terms in which one member of the pair is assumed to be primary or fundamental, the other secondary or derivative. Examples include a nature or culture, speech or writing, and mind or body. The first one that I found with deconstruction is, binary opposition is happiness above sadness. All the sadness in this poem is caused by the upper class or bourgeois, and all the sadness is felt only by the lower class or the proletariat. And this poem tells about how the sadness can spread to the lower class. The second, the second one I found is justice and injustice. The upper class became weary and restricted the freedom of speech of the proletariat. They feared that Britain, England, would revolt because of the social and political inequalities that most of the proletariat felt at the time. Because of this, the lower class is shackled and everything is controlled by the upper class. According to upper class, it is justice they have they have the privilege because they were born in the upper class and use their assets and power as well as possible, while the lower class can only curse the upper class and do not use their rights and power to fight the upper class. All right, so the conclusion is, in the first read of this poem, we will only find the sadness, but after analyzing with the construction, we get a few things. There is a happiness above sadness. We can conclude that this poem tells about how the proletariat suffers to social and political injustice caused by the upper class. William Blake hammered home the notions of inequality and unjust suffering to the control and ownership of the means of production by the upper class. All right, thank you very much for listening. That was my presentation. See you soon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.